Hey everybody, Anthony here from CrazyTechLab, and this is another edition of In the Lab where we are going to be going through some of the latest hardware to turn up here at CrazyTechLab this week, and we are also going to be taking a look at some future reviews and modding content that I will be covering on the channel very, very soon. So don't forget to turn on those notifications and subscribe so you are notified when I upload all that new fun content that you'll be seeing. A little sneak preview of today. So today we have some brand new hardware in from NZXT. We've got some new Kraken coolers, which I know are very, very popular with you guys out there. We've also got some brand new fans from NZXT as well, which we will be reviewing in due course here on the channel. And we've also got some mini-ITX content as well. We're going to be taking a look at the Cooler Master NR200P and ongoing modding project that I've got involving that case and changing its internal layout. So basically involving a very, very significant modification to that case to kind of change it and see what benefits that will actually bring if you did decide to do that to your Cooler Master NR200P. So let's crack on with today's video. Our sponsor today is scdkey.com, where right now you can get great deals on software such as Windows 10, Windows 11 and Microsoft Office. And even better is I've got a 25% discount code to share with you guys. Windows 10 Professional, for example, which is fully upgradable for free to Windows 11. All you have to do is click Buy Now, enter the code CRT25 into the promotion code box, click Apply, and the US price will drop from $22.09 down to just $16.57, and in the UK, you'll see the price fall to just £12.79. Once you've paid, head over to your order page, click the Get Key button, and copy your Windows key code. When you're in Windows, you want to move your mouse over to the Start button, right-click, go to Settings, then Update and Security, and then move up to Activation, and finally click on Change Your Product Key, copy and paste your brand new product key into the box, click Next, then click Activate, and your Windows 10 installation is now activated. You can do the exact same thing with Office 2021 Professional, CRT 25, click Apply, and you will see a hefty discount. Thanks again to SCDKey for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so first up we have the brand new F120 RGB core fans, which we are going to be taking a look at very, very soon. We also have some F140 RGB duo fans, and there's a pair of 140mm fans in there, so we're going to be taking a look at those at around the same time. So they're not quite as new as the new F120 RGB cores. So we've got both black and white versions of the fans here. So if we just take these out of the box and have a look and see what we've got, if we can actually get them out of the box, of course. And so this is a triple pack of fans, the 140mm F120 RGB duos, obviously duo meaning that you only get two fans in the box. So these are tied into NZXT's RGB ecosystem, and with that in mind, you have a controller box here with the three RGB connectors, the proprietary NZXT RGB connectors, and they just plug in like so. And then this box, once you've connected all your fans up, is powered by a spare SATA connector from your power supply, and also you'll need a spare USB 2 header as well, because this thing is controlled by NZXT CAM. So you will need to install the CAM software to actually control these fans. So that's a pretty neat little idea from NZXT, being able to control three fans from one box using CAM. I would have maybe preferred to have the option of adding extra fans to this box, like maybe including an extra 3 ports on here or something like that. And NZXT does offer its own sort of extendable controller, but this is pretty much all you get in the box. So we'll be taking a look at these fans and how they perform in terms of airflow and performance and noise in a future video. And we'll be doing the same with the F140 RGB fans as well. So thanks to NZXT for sending these bad boys over. They look pretty good, and the bearing feels really nice on those blades as well. So we will be taking an in-depth look at these fans in a future video. So NZXT has sent me 2 brand new coolers. So we have the Elite 360 here, which is the more premium one, and I just thought I'd show you this in this video because otherwise this table is going to be getting very crowded. So this is the more premium one, and you can see that it's got the sort of Elite LCD customizable 2.36 inch wide angle LCD display there, which you can customize. Obviously out of the box it will just show the temperature of your liquid and other things, but the display looks absolutely fantastic. I've already seen it in some videos out there from NZXT, and obviously this cooler coming in white would very, very well suit the NZXT H9 case that I looked at recently. So you can see a full review to that case in the banner up above. I'll have that coming out now, so you can click on that and see my full review of that case and see what the cooling's like, and whether or not you should actually opt for a liquid cooler or whether air cooling might be better for you. So don't forget to check out that video, and we'll be taking a look at the Kraken Elite 360 RGB in a future video. So let's get rid of all the thousands of fans that we're going to have to test at some point, and we'll move on to what I really wanted to show you guys today, and that is the Cooler Master NR200P. So specifically, my ongoing modding project involved in this case. It's kind of in its early stages at the moment. I've been tweaking things around and chopping stuff up and re-riveting parts in place, but as you can see here, we have the beginnings of a sandwich style arrangement. So you've got the motherboard on that side and you've got the graphics card on this side. Now if we look at a standard NR200P, here's one I prepared earlier, and this one was featured in my recent video reviewing the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Halo White cooler, and you can see a link to that review in the banner up above right now. And that's an RTX 4070 in there, by the way. It's a pretty good graphics card for mini-ITX builds because it's super efficient, doesn't generate that much heat, and runs very cool. So it's obviously quite controversial in terms of price and performance and memory and all that kind of stuff, but I think for me it's absolutely perfect for a mini-ITX build because you do get a pretty powerful graphics card that's very power frugal and very cool running. So, and we've also in there got the MSI MPG B760i Edge Wi-Fi mini-ITX motherboard, and that's going to be coming in a future review as well. And getting back to my original point, very sidetracked there, and my camera's just decided to go for a wobble as well, so let's move that around before I start making you sick by wobbling you around on the videos. So as you can see here, we've got the motherboard which sits right at the far side of the case. So we've got a pretty traditional case layout here, except for the fact that we do also have the vertical mount for the graphics card here. You can see the graphics card is mounted, or graphics card isn't mounted here at the moment, but you can see where it is with these black slots going down like that. The graphics card though is mounted in its traditional situation down here at the bottom of the case, and we have a pretty typical layout there for the NR200P compared to an ATX case, for example. So this just gives it a lot of extra CPU cooler headroom because the motherboard is situated way at the back of the case, but that does have some limitations. So radiator support down here isn't great. If you're water cooling, there's often a lot of wasted space in here, especially if you're trying to water cool the graphics card. So one of the benefits of a sandwich style arrangement, which is what we've got here, is that you basically free up the bottom and top of the case, and you have the option of mounting the motherboard so it's facing outwards this way, and it just gives you a lot more room to work with in terms of radiator space and water cooling and all that kind of stuff. So obviously doing it this way around is very water cooling focused because you're not going to be able to fit a very large air cooler in here. The standard NR200P, obviously with the motherboard on that side of the case, you're going to have that whole distance for a cooler, and that's why a cooler like the Hyper cooler, the 212 in here, has a height of 154 millimeters, I believe. That would not fit in here. So that's a standard height cooler pretty much, and it actually fits in the standard NR200P. So what we'll be doing with this case is to actually install two radiators, two 240 millimeter radiators, possibly something even larger if I can squeeze it in there. And we're going to have the motherboard situated on this side, and we're going to have the graphics card mounted vertically on this side. So it's going to be a pretty spacious build. lots of water cooling hardware in there. Haven't decided what hardware I'm going to use yet. Probably either XSPC or Alpha Cool slim radiators just to make it look a little cleaner. But it will be a dual double radiator build inside an NR200P, which is pretty impressive given the hardware that you can fit inside and how small the case is. It's not the smallest mini-ITX case out there, but it is still pretty small. So, and as you can see, if we just put these two cases side by side again, and we can see the differences here. So the graphics card mount, I still need to replace that, and that's going to sit at the top here. And we also have the motherboard mount. So as you can see, the motherboard is basically mounted along this center spine here and faces outwards. The motherboard on the standard case sits on here and faces that way towards where the graphics card mounts are. So lots of fun water cooling going to be going on inside this NR200P in the very near future. So don't forget to subscribe so you are notified when I start posting some videos on it. So the final part of this edition of In the Lab is looking at a case that I spotted on YouTube via a Facebook group recently, and this case is absolutely insane. So to start with, it uses what appears to be a custom PCB motherboard with everything kind of all around the wrong way. There's a whole bunch of customization gone in here. You can see the memory slots in the middle of the motherboard. The guy at the moment is getting ready to house a couple of M.2 SSDs which sit side by side, which is a very interesting arrangement. Looks to be slightly bigger than mini-ITX, but the rest of the PCB is pretty similar. You can fit standard coolers, so here we've got what appears to be an L9i from Noctua. The guy replaces it with a larger fan as well. So, but this is not the only interesting thing going on with this case, though, because there's some absolutely insane stuff which happens in a minute that we'll get to in this this short video. So yeah, it's kind of a very, very interesting case for a number of reasons. I'll put some links to this video in the description below so you can check it out a bit more in your own time. But the whoever's building it seems to be manually removing the heat sinks on this motherboard and then reinstalling them afterwards. I'm guessing there's a bit of a squeeze when installing the cooler, or they're providing new heat sinks or something. But everything else seems to be pretty straightforward, and there's a great shot of the custom PCB in this system. So as far as I can see, you buy the case and the motherboard, but there's not that much information. A lot of it is in Chinese. But the case, I love the design of this thing. It's pretty retro. It looks a little bit like an air conditioning unit, but it's once you see it installed with all the hardware, I think you'll agree it's pretty awesome. So there's a custom power supply at the front there. But as you'll see in a minute, there are two 8-pin PCIe power connectors, so you can power most graphics cards that are out there today, except for sort of ultra high-end ones. Now, the really interesting thing is that you'll get to see in a minute is just how neatly the graphics card slots in. And the party trick of this thing is absolutely insane. Look at this cover for the graphics card. Look how neatly that thing slots in on top. It's absolutely insane, and it's not done yet. Yeah, just look at that. I love the side-mounted USB ports, the front panel, but just look how sick that graphics card is sitting in there. It looks absolutely incredible. So I'm guessing that whole side panel needs to be custom made to fit specific graphics cards, but totally doable in terms of upgrading. So if you switch from one graphics card to another, if it's available, you can probably buy a separate shroud or maybe 3D print something, that kind of stuff. But I absolutely love that case. So it's called the For Fun 02 Pro, and I think this thing looks absolutely incredible. So that's it for this edition of In the Lab with CrazyTechLab, and we'll be back next week with more behind the scenes stuff, modding projects, and some future reviews content as well. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you soon.